following presentation of the National Football League.
Nick Folk ready for the honors. And here we go on Monday Night Primetime. Johnson now on the return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So the Steeler offense getting out there. It's opening drive of the game. They're led out by one of the game's most tenured veterans and most decorated quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's safe to say, Kate, Aaron Rodgers may be one of the most polarizing figures in the NFL, but there is nobody that will question his ability to spin a football different than everybody else. Just ask his receivers, tight ends, running backs, anybody that's ever played with him. He elevates their game, and he often elevates his own game to an MVP kind of level.
And his first offering of the game winds up incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And that's good for a few. It brings up third down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on third down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big deal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. No throw, 3rd and long. To the sideline it goes. He makes the play. Pass caught. Both feet are down. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And the Steelers have a first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
To the air on first down. Rodgers. Left side, caught by Metcalf. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That's such a good example, Kate. You don't have to be an elite runner to be a good thrower of the football on the run. The same fundamentals, the attention to detail to be a good pocket passer, they show up on the run as well. That's an excellent job getting the completion.
Now running for the first time with Jalen Warren. They're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. They get an even 10 on that play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
You want to drain some of the excitement, some of the noise from a home stadium? It's exactly how you do it when you go on the road. Run it right down their throat from the jump.
Now their opening drive certainly going according to plan, Brock. It's a new set of downs at the 27. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Brandon Stevens in on the tackle.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door bigger gap in the future.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Warren once more. And he's not going to get the first. He needed real close, though. Didn't he, Brock? It's a gain of 5, 3rd down coming up.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Now a shotgun handoff to Gainwell. And he won't get back to the line, Brock. They needed one, but they're going to lose one on that play. It's 4th down.
It's results like that that drive coordinators nuts. Premature balding, gray, wrinkles, all of it, Kate. You call something conservative. The last thing you're thinking is you're going to lose yards on a 3rd and 1 run.
Facing 4th down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. Ball on the right hash for this 36-yard look. Boswell able to knock it through. And they get 3 on their first series. Hope to build on that in the drives ahead.
All in all, Kate, I'm going to call that a good offense. Established himself, moved the ball, and the kicker able to give him a lead.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's Isaiah Davis on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. And we'll get a look at a man who's been around the block quite a few times now in the NFL.
Don't think for a second, Kate, he hasn't heard the noise. Read the comments from the keyboard warriors who say they just want somebody else leading this team. But let me let you in on a little secret. Those criticisms, they can fuel quarterbacks. Make that chip on the shoulder even bigger to prove people wrong and to show I really do belong in this league.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. They'll start this series with an option left. And he's going to get this one to the 36-yard line. And gain 11 on that play. And it's good for a New York first down.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down to just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
They've got first down here from the 36. There's Breece Hall on the ground for the first time. Shoots away from one. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Now it's Taylor. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Steelers bringing pressure. No place to go. Down he goes. And they're staring at a 4th down now after that sack.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Now on fourth down, here's Austin McNamara out to punt for the Jets. And this will bring a drive that had some promise to a disappointing end. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense for their second drive of the game. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Rodgers off the play action. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he is persuaded to go out of bounds just as he gets this up past the 30-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Steelers have a first down.
Dude, I can promise you that's one of those play-action plays they've repped over the week during practice. That both quarterback and tight end went to bed last night thinking, man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, I hope you have just a little space to operate. That play-action works beautifully, and the tight end the beneficiary.
And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Will McDonald there on the tackle.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he's able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Receiver in motion. He's headed right. Off play action. Here's Rodgers. It's caught right side by Freiermuth. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Rodgers gonna throw on first. He keeps it and takes off. Has it up to his own 45 on a small gain. That was Jermaine Johnson there to make the play.
Positive of that effort, he didn't go backwards, didn't have a negative play. If there was a negative, you didn't get a whole lot done with your legs. Got to be more efficient now on 2nd down.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Warren here from the gun. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. That's Harrison Phillips there for the stop.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically, and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Rodgers going to throw here, 3rd down. Austin's there to haul it in. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Another Steelers first down. A gain of 11 on the play. And the Steelers first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
First down. Here's Rodgers. Finds him over the middle. And they bring him down around the 34.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, give your quarterback a chance.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And they'll still have some work to do now on 3rd down as he only manages to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You see that sweep blown up before it gets to the outside, you know defensively, tremendous anticipation. But even more, better execution.
Coming to the line for their 9th play of the drive. This is 3rd and 3. Rodgers from the gun. He's got his man. This is Austin. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum to keep that defense on its heels.
To the line and set. Here we go, 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Dump off caught by his back. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
Dude, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
On 2nd down, Warren. They call it 1, maybe 2 yards at the end, Brock. It's 3rd down.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
About set. This is 3rd and 5. Looking out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers stretch their early lead to 9. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Chris Boswell for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers go up 10-zip here in the 1st.
Jets, nothing.
Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. And decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Second drive coming up now for the Jets offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. Throwing now off the play action. Looking right, and he finds it. This gets forward to around the 29. Stopped by the perennial All-Pro and Defensive Player of the Year contender. That's T.J. Watt.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Looking to throw, Taylor. Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the 1st.
Well, things weren't about to end after the first hit or the second. This tight end had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch, and he was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. through for a 7-yard gain. The tackle made at the 47.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Seven yards on that last play, so this is 2nd and 3. To the air, Taylor. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Opening frame of the game, and 2 times already, these defenders have got home for a home run sack. They get their way, a lot more teammates are going to join them on the stat sheet with the takedown before this one ends.
Six yards to go here. It's 3rd down. Throw here, 3rd down. This gets the 1st and more. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
That's good for the Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
1st and 10 now from the 46. Putting a receiver in motion. Short pass brought in. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
1st down now, ball at the 33. Throwing, Taylor. Stepping up, and he's going to run. And he gives himself up after a short gain.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Taylor. They set up the screen here for Hall. He dodged the tackle. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And no repeat success of that last run as he only is able to get back to the line on this play. We're through one on Monday Night Primetime. It's a 10-0 ball game. More from MetLife coming right up. Time for the 2nd quarter of play. It's Jets football. They have it 2nd down, well inside of field goal range. Here's Taylor to throw. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. And the Steelers take over after forcing the 1st turnover of this ball game.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh no! Give me that one back! Because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. And that last impressive touchdown drive, well, they'll have to see if they can repeat that. They're backed up again to start this one. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Now here's Rodgers. Shoves one away. And he's going to get him all the way up near that 30-yard line, Brock. Knocked out a step or two shy of it. They got 21 yards on the play. And the Steelers have a first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Just like the last play, Metcalf has it. And they're going to bring him down just after he crosses the 50. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Thielen's got it. It's complete. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule. You get a little something coming out of it, too.
Five still to go here. This is 2nd down. They'll throw again. Rodgers. Too much lead on that throw. That ball's incomplete ahead of his target. This one misses the tight end. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Now Rodgers on this 3rd and short. Beyond the marker, and they get this down to the 28. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
That's another Steelers first down. A gain of 16 yards.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Warren running between the tackles. And he picks up 5 on that first down run, brings up 2nd down.
Humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
First down run, nabs him 5, now 2nd and 5. Staying between the tackles with Gainwell. Tackle made at the 10. 1st and goal coming up.
13 yards on the play. That's good.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine. And that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's able to fight this down to the 2. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
They stick with Gainwell. They charge into traffic, but the line doesn't budge. They stall him out short.
Well, Kate, this is going to be a fascinating call because defensively, you've stopped the run twice now, and I think you believe on that side, well, they got to put it in the air. But this is also where the offense could say, we got 2 more shots. Let's continue to pound the football. Can't wait to watch this one.
They sneak in with Rodgers. It's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
Everybody understood the assignment right there. For one guy, the quarterback, get the snap and make the marker. For the other 10, drive like mad, push like crazy, and create that space for the 1st.
We're right on the doorstep now. Here's 1st and goal from inside the 1. Warren. can't push it across. They make the stand, and looks like they might have stopped him a little bit behind the line, too. Now we see he's in some pain after making that tackle. Team personnel out now to take a look at him. Thankfully, not a big loss last play. They're at the 2, second and goal. Now they're looking to throw with Rogers. Throw complete to Thielen. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers parlay the interception into points. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there,
Yeah,
because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers take a 3-possession lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. And this drive will start inside the 25. Now here comes the New York offense. And things starting to get a little out of hand for him, Brock. That last score made it 17-zip. All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. They'll start this one out with Hall. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground, you could throw beyond the sticks, really create some indecision now defensively.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Takes the handoff. Now to throw. And the steel curtain just too much. He's taken down. And it'll be 3rd down coming up after this defense's 3rd sack of the game.
Well into this first half, still struggling to find any rhythm, and that's what sacks do. That is why these defenders get paid big money when they get those sacks in the stat column, because as you're seeing today, it totally disrupts the rhythm, the continuity in any success for an offense.
This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. He's in trouble and gets brought down again. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up 4th down.
All right, up to the point of the game, Kate. Now, we got to get the ball out of our hands. He is just taking a beating all game long, and on this drive, yet again. Find a way to protect, find a way to run, and get the ball out of his hands.
Another punt coming up. Austin McNamara to again do the honors. Calvin Austin on the return for the Steelers. Starts from the 44. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. And unless the coverage adjusts to slow him down, Brock, he's going to be busy and a productive target for them throughout the rest of this contest. Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. A toss running left. Warren. Danced away from one tackle, but unable to dance away from the rest of the defense. No gain on that play.
You know by now, Kate, with this time we spend together these toss plays, the best way to defend them is to hit them before they get started. And that's exactly what the defense did.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Rodgers to throw. Hits him on the in route. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. To the air on 3rd and long. This finds its target. That's Metcalf. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Steelers have a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. Rodgers from the gun. Running in the red zone. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Give him 13 on that play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground with Warren. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
4 yards on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's a give inside to Gainwell. And he's going to be brought down after a gain of 5, right up next to that line to gain.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
All right, looks like they're going to try to power this across. Goal line formation on 3rd and inches. He has it on the QB sneak. And this drive is going to continue. He's taken down at the 2 on 3rd down. And they've got themselves a 1st and goal.
Kate, is there a simpler play in football that's come to life more than the QB sneak? We see all different varieties now, but it has become so darn effective. And when you got a tough QB that wants to put it on his shoulders, you sign up for it.
Warren. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Gets it again. And this time he gets in for the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers could push this to a 4-score game as they take a 23-point lead. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Steelers make it a 24-point ball game. Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And this drive, they need to come up with some type of answer because, well, Brock, we can almost hear those engines starting to gear up. They might have a boat race coming.
Yeah, I think everybody in the building can feel it. This has been so momentous one way, and as a competitor, you have got to stop that slide.
Jets getting ready for this 1st and 10. Taylor now. Throw right side, caught by Wilson. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
I feel so bad, I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
That's what I call complementary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. Here's Taylor. And they can't connect on the 3rd down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got 4th down.
Safe to say there's been an early disconnect between the planning phase and the execution phase for this offense. Might be time, Kate, really to get back to basics, to the calls that you just trust the most.
Austin McNamara on now to punt. Before they bring him down on the return. The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here with Warren. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Steelers have a 1st down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
1st down from the 41. Looking out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Austin makes the grab downfield. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. Get 22 out of that play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
Hey, we know running the ball football in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on second down. They'll go again with Warren. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
Rodgers going to throw here, 3rd down. Gets this one to Freiermuth. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Has him on the quick hitter. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Well, a bunch of credit goes to just about everybody on that offense. Guys up front didn't give the QB enough time to let that play develop. Excellent effort by that receiver to stay alive and for the quarterback to scan the field and find his completion.
The Jets take their first time out as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Now Rodgers. Has it in close. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers boat racing them to the halftime locker room. Ooh, baby, Brock, this one has gotten well out of hand.
You think so? I think this is utter domination. Going to be a lot of questions to be answered. I'm going to guess this is a press conference the coach isn't looking forward to.
Boswell to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers grow their lead yet again. Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. This makes it up to the 25. The Jets have their offense ready to go again. And coming off 3 and out, Brock, they really need to build some momentum from the ground as they try to get on that scoreboard here. New York to the line. 1st and 10. Mitchell now in motion left. First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And he will wind up out of bounds after a first down gain of right around 3 yards.
That's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. To the air, Taylor. He tucks it and takes off. Has some daylight through the 40. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. A pickup of 17. And that's good for a Jets first down.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of a defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that first down anyway.
Here's Taylor to throw. Finds him over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Shotgun snap, they'll throw. Oh, look at this, here he goes. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Timeout taken by New York, that's its second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Now it's Taylor. Short pass brought in. And this one does not go far.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Steelers' 34-yard line.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Looking to throw, Taylor. That's Mitchell on the slant. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Timeout called by the Jets. That's their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. They'll come up on 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. He gets it again to Mitchell. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook wide open.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Taylor. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
With each incompletion, each turnover, each sack, you can almost just feel this offense's frustration. Really imperative this quarterback stay positive. Just keep chopping away.
This is Nick Folk on for the Jets field goal. From the left hash, 34 yards away. And the kick by Folk is good. And that's not going to do a ton against what is now a 28-point gap.
That's tremendous execution right there. Really using every bit of time they had left in a methodical drive, paying off with points. And remember, they'll get the ball to start the second half as well.
So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends our half, or if we get a play from scrimmage, as this one's away. And it looks like we're going to have time for one more play here, Brock, as this one goes for a touchback. One last play before the break. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. So a one-sided contest as we reach the break here. Let's head over to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Thank you, Scott. Great work there. We, on the other hand, didn't have a great first half. Just hoping things get a little bit closer this time around as we get set for quarter number 3. Now ball's going on. They're sending this away. On return, here comes Davis. He's stopped on the run back at the 27. So to begin the third quarter, the New York offense returning to the field. This has become must-score territory now every time out as they trail by a full 4 possessions in this second half. The New York offense ready to get going here. It's 1st and 10. Here's Hall running his own read. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Their dominance against this ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Throwing, Taylor. Completed over the middle. And no yak this time. They got on him quickly, down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Making the call himself. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide of practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. From the gun, it's Hall. Escapes a defender. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it, and that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
First down, and they go right back to it. And his drive up the middle gets him about 3. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Throwing off the play fake. Taylor hit and the ball is loose. And they scoop it up. Time to push for the line. And they call a little of the damage back there with a modest return. Good efforts, but they still lost yards on the fumble. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
Crisis averted, partner, but their reward here is a tough third down. Third and long, they're gonna throw. Trying to float that one in, and defender's there for the interception. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it. And the Steelers are stopped on the return just shy of their own 35.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game without 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
The Steelers and Jalen Warren headed back out there offensively. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. New set of downs for him from the 31. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. This gets forward a little, not a ton, to the 35. Jarvis Brownlee there to make that play.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 35-yard line.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. Blast through midfield, and he's brought down at the 44. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
That's good for a Steelers first down. It's a gain of
I'll tell you what, Kate, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Quincy Williams making the tackle.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group and he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Finds his back, Jalen Warren. And he's down very close to that first, but looks like he is stopped just in time after a gain of 4.
It's a gain of 5.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
He keeps it himself. He's fighting all he can, but won't get that final yard. They're going to have 4th down coming up.
Come on, Kate. Put me in. One play, one time. I may have retired back in 04, but I could pick up a couple inches on that sneak. Astounding that call did not turn into a first down. Come on, boys.
Facing 4th down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. This will be from 52 yards. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And a fairly insurmountable lead grows by 3 more.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Now Boswell on to send this away. On return, here comes Davis. And And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Jets out to begin another drive. Their last series sure was looking like points up until that interception, Brock. Hopefully they can move the ball similarly well as they take over here. First call here coming from the shotgun. Back to work after throwing the pick. Connects with Mechie. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Taylor now. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. That throw was looking for Mason Taylor. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Working across the middle, Brock. It is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
That is once again incomplete, and consecutive incompletions have now pushed them to 4th down.
It has been a tough slog for them to keep up at any point in this game. And failing to convert on that 3rd down, yet another symptom of the overall illness of the day.
Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. Austin McNamara will kick this away. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. And I think by this point we can all agree, Brock, that he is not going to be stopped until the clock stops at the end of this game. He just continues to make catches count in this 2nd half. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Rodgers from the gun. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he's stopped as he gets this one down to the 27-yard line. It goes for a 38-yard pickup. And the Steelers have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Counterplay here, Warren. We're working a couple of yards past the line. It was Andre Cisco who held him down there.
You know, Kate, these are what I call the body blows. It's not a home run. It doesn't deliver a chunk play, but it's these runs of 1 to 5 that keep you on schedule and take a little bit of steam out of that defense.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Warren once more. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain, so Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 7.
To the air on 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
So a new set of downs. Here we go, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Brought in. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Now there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Now a shotgun handoff to Gainwell. And the defense holds him at the 2, Brock. He can't get beyond the line. Still a couple yards short of that end zone.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
7th play of the drive now as they need a yard here on 3rd down. Going power with a big tight end. They sent him right up the gut, but he wasn't able to get anywhere. The defense braced for impact, and they made the stop. It's 4th down.
This is why it's so important not to overcommit to the team's lead runner. It went to a secondary ball carrier, and they cut him down for a big red zone stop.
They're going for this, thinking touchdown, obviously, but they could also get a 1st down. They'll go for it. Rodgers. And it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers piling onto the scoreboard yet again. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers continue piling on to this lead. Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
The Jets take over. The
Jets offense now set to take over. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Jets getting ready for this 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. He's going to keep it this time. And not a lot available there. Makes it to the 26. Derek Harmon, the former Oregon Duck, making that stop.
I don't mind that scramble at all, Kate. It makes that defense think this guy's not just going to sit in the pocket all day. I'll say this as well, like I do all the time. When you're going to scramble as a quarterback, make sure you protect yourself.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Shotgun snap, a gift to Hall. And he takes it ahead for about 4 yards. It's 3rd down.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And that sack brings the offense to 4th down.
This defense has been doing it all, not just with the takeaways, but the pressure and what that does and how hard it is to play the quarterback position when you're taking a beating like this.
So out now comes the punter. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. Punt meets him at the 28. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Good field position as the Steelers come up to it, 1st and 10. Starting this drive with a design run. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Run lost him a yard to begin the drive. Here comes 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Went way outside there trying to work that sideline, Brock, but by the time the ball had arrived, well, the defender had to knock that ball out.
I think you see my reaction in the booth every time
I do.
we see that throw, because I can close my eyes and remember the terror that I felt as a quarterback when you let that ball go and you're throwing it all the way to the boundary. There's some risk reward, and that time, well, there was no reward.
And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
You know, Kate, with the game that they put together, it's surprising to see them really run into any hiccups when they appear. They moved the ball very well throughout, just unsuccessful on that 3rd down.
On 4th down, it's Corliss Waitman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And he wasn't needed at all in the first half, partner. This is going to be his first punt. Jukes away from one. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Now here comes the New York offense. And they're going to need to play for pride or for something to build on for next week, Brock, because this game seems out of reach, even though we've got a full quarter still to go. New York to the line, 1st and 10. To the air, Taylor. Throwing the out route complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That's not a big completion stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. Coming right is Hall. His drive forward halted after a couple of yards. That stop made by T.J. Watt.
A gain of 2 on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Here they go, getting set for 3rd and 4. Working now from the gun. It's caught by Wilson. And he'll go down, it will stay right at the 39-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on the play. And it's good for a New York first down.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on it, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
Finds him over the middle. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Hall running between the tackles. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Hit applied by Keanu Benton.
Tackle made at the 47-yard line. It's a gain of a yard.
So just 1 quarter to go on Monday Night Primetime. It's Jets football, and they're probably ready to just get this final quarter over with. Third and just 2 to go. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. He's going for it himself. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there. That played good enough for a first.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. Now it's Taylor. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down.
Kate, from my vantage point up here, that was pretty close to drawing a penalty flag. Risky decision on first down, but there was a target in the area, so thus, no penalty, and we move on to second.
After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10. They're going play action. Down the field, he's got Wilson. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that's good for a Jets first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Right side, this is caught by Taylor. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into 1st and goal.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on the route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, then go to work after.
Breaking the huddle, here's 1st and goal. From the red zone on 1st. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Jets putting up points in a game decided.
Kate, we know you can do it in different ways in today's NFL at quarterback. Some with the brains, the processing, that anticipation and accuracy. Some could do it with their improv skills to create a play when everything breaks down. He just put on a show.
Nick Folk now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jets take 7 points off the deficit.
41, Jets 10.
It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Johnson with a return here. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a give inside to Gainwell. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
Simply put, Kate, that is a drive starter extraordinaire.
Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40. Shotgun handoff to Warren. And he's not going to manage to get that to the line even. Tackle for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
On 2nd down, Warren. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
Gosh, I got to just be honest with you, kid. I marvel at the strength we see out of these running backs. Strength, the agility. I thought they weren't strong when I was playing, but the guys today just run right through contact at times without even blinking, and that's how you get those big chunk yard runs.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you can win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
On 2nd down, Warren gets it again. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And the Steelers have a 1st down.
That's another Steelers 1st down.
Yeah, you want to get above 5 yards to carry? You put together runs like that. And I'll tell you what else a run like that does, Kate. That sets up the play action. Right? When you really just gouge and gash a defense like that, the next time you run that action, they're going to be thinking running the ball to go right over their head.
It's caught. That's Thielen. And they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal here from the 7.
Well, you don't normally get that type of outcome on a slant. You're just looking for a short yard gain. To find the right type of athlete with space to work before and a perfectly placed ball after the catch. It's a perfect play to break it big.
Offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Off the play fake. Here's Rodgers. And he has the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers throw 6-4 on the blowout. Pat Fryermuth the touchdown. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Steelers continue adding on to that lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Wangu now to return. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And all game, they have struggled to attack this deficit. Maybe they can do a little window dressing here. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hall. He dodged the tackle. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. Now about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset.
That is textbook RPO right there, Kate. Quarterback's decision-making comes quick off the snap. And that back, you know that he's already looking for those lanes before the ball's even in his belly. Before that defense can adjust to the run, he hits that second level.
Running back sent in motion. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they're on him right away with that tackle. The stop comes at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 22. And it's good for a New York 1st down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Hall takes it straight ahead. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Receiver in motion, going left. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Taken in by Mitchell, right side. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
Mitchell. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
5 DBs out there for the Steelers, 3rd down. Here's Taylor to throw. Set up the screen here for Hall. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a 1st and goal.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. Looking for Mason Taylor that time. So now it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think everybody in the building was already thinking about the next play to run as they watched that short throw to the tight end. That's a gimme. You don't expect to see many of those drops.
So the incompletion on 1st. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Hall on the give. And he pushes them a little closer to the 3. He gets 2 on that run. That brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive. Try to stick them with the loss and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Taylor. Dumped off to his running back. And into the end zone. Touchdown, New York. The Jets making the scoreboard look a touch better. Breece Hall with the touchdown. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw plays and have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned. That's 6 in the end.
Folk on now to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jets cut into the lead by another point.
Steelers 48, Jets 17.
It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Johnson now on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Steelers and Jalen Warren headed back out there offensively. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones. Continuing to hit this defense, more good numbers well into this second half. Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Warren. And he'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that run. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes 2nd and 2. Warren quick on the draw. Man, this is going backwards. The defense all over that draw, and they're going to lose yards. 3rd down coming up. Great call in a short yardage situation right there, Brock, and that was exactly the type of front that defense needed to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the X's and O's of it, and then even more, the guys going out there and executing it, pulling the trigger to create that loss.
Now Rodgers on his 3rd and short. And that one's too far in front of them, so now they're facing 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and incomplete.
The Steelers set to punt it. Corliss Waitman will kick it away. Fair catch made here at the 30-yard line. The Jets have their offense ready to go again. And scoring hasn't been the issue for them, Brock, but it has been impossible to hold pace with the offense on the other side of this football field.
And we know they can't get this all back in one play, but they better do it with a sense of urgency.
New set of downs for him from the 31.
Hey, tackle him.
Taylor now. Hits his running back. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
2nd and 3 now. Here's Hall. And all he can get is a yard here, bro. It's going to be 3rd down. Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it forward a yard to reset the downs. 3rd down give to Hall. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. That's good for a couple of yards. And that's good for a Jets 1st down.
That's one as a running back in this league, you got to convert every time. Teams really don't care if you're a Hall of Famer or an undrafted rookie. You can't get 1 yard for a first, they're going to start holding auditions for someone who can.
So first down from the 41. Looking to throw, Taylor. It's caught left side by Mitchell. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And it's good for a New York first down.
That's another Jets. First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
So first down from the 41. From the gun, it's Hall. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
The only thing I can say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Throwing, Taylor. Gets him on the in route. And they're going to be working from the red zone as he reaches the 16. They get 23 on that one. And that's good for a Jets first down.
That's another Jets first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Jets just want to get out of here with how this one is gone. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. A give left side for Hall. That run good for a handful as it brings up 2nd down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon. He created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
They give on 2nd to Hall. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? They're the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
All right, they need 7 here on 3rd down on what is the 9th play of this drive. Gets another one to Mitchell. And he's going to have enough for the first down, not by much. He got it. That's all that matters. Sets him up with a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. And he's got it, so they'll pull a little ways back with the touchdown. The Jets putting up points in a game decided. Now, this one has been a long game, no doubt. But, hey, something positive to look back on there.
But they didn't quit, Kate, and I know that sounds a little cliche at this professional level, but it really is an important thing. This one will still hurt, but they showed some execution and fire.
Folk on now to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jets get it back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points.
Jets, 24.
It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Johnson with a return here. The coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And we'll see if those 3 timeouts get used defensively, Brock, but this one is over either way. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here with Warren. And the drive starts out small, just 1 yard on that play.
I don't think that's the amount that they were for there, Kate. Could lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. A more aggressive call on 2nd.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And even on the road, this was a game they expected to win fairly convincingly. And I think we can say they've done just that, Brock, to the chagrin of the hometown fans who are hoping to see that upset. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from New York.